Ekeler, friend of the show, a champion of the industry.
On his Instagram right there, number 30 on the field, number 1 in your hearts, number 1 on the scoreboard. The number 1 running back in fantasy when it counted the most. Promises were made, promises were kept. We love Austin Ekeler, last year's fantasy ride or die. Now, and I remember last year, and I just, like, again, you can say like I'm victory lapping a little bit, but you know what, I am, and I don't care. I don't care, and I'll tell you why I don't care. I don't care why. I don't care because, like, going into last season, I had him as a top 5 overall player, and he was going in most fantasy drafts in the second round or towards the end of the second round because the argument against Ekeler was he can't score touchdowns. Wow. As you watch here on your screen, him breaking free for a nice long one. Well, he's now had, and I was just like, guys, he can score touchdowns. It's just bad luck last year, the 2 years ago. Well, he's now had back-to-back seasons with 18 touchdowns from scrimmage. He's the first running back to do that since Todd Gurley, another fantasy legend as well.
Yes, sir.
Austin Ekeler, I just wanted to wear the 30 to rep. He's going to hopefully I'm up 60 going into Monday night, so we'll see. I'm done. Guy I'm playing has Burrow and Mixon, so anything can be. Listen, anything's possible. Like Mixon has a 55-point game under his belt this year. But
he did score 4 or 5 touchdowns.
I'm just saying. But anyway, like if I do win this league, it's a big dynasty expert league with a bunch of other people. I'm playing Rich Rebar, Lord Reeves in the final, and he's a great analyst and a great fantasy player. No trash talk at all. He has the better team, in fact. Yeah. But Austin Ekeler, if I do win, it'll be thanks to number 30.
I like to spoil movies and endings. You're gonna win that league.
I don't know. Right now. I'm not taking anything for
60-point lead.
Listen, you got the right mindset.
No. Listen,
you got the right mindset.
It's the 4th year of this dynasty league. It's filled with a bunch of people that if you follow fantasy Twitter, you know. First year of the league, I ran the table. I was number 1 in points by a wide margin. I'm up 55 going into Monday Night Football, and I'm playing Graham Barfield, also a great analyst, great fantasy player, and I lost because he had Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones on Monday night against Minnesota. If you remember that from a few years ago, Aaron Jones had that 56-yard touchdown in junk time, and I ended up losing by 1 point. So I take nothing for granted. I won the league in year 2, lost in the semis last year. I'm back in the finals again, so anyway.
Okay. Well, good luck to you, and bad luck to Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon.
I want them to have good games, just less than 62 points worth.
It's very doable. Should be doable. All right, Lawrence, let's talk about Amari Cooper. I know Matthew doesn't want to talk about this game too much, so we'll focus on you.
The question becomes, the only thing I'm going to say is, and we'll talk about this throughout the week as we do our show live from Vegas, but we'll talk about whether these guys play in Week 18 in terms of, but here's Amari Cooper burning my Commanders.
He will. If you started Amari Cooper this week, you probably didn't want to. But if you did, it paid off. 2 long touchdowns. He ain't had but 3 catches. 2 of them just happened to go for long touchdowns, and they came, later in the game, so that's, there was no numbers coming into this game with Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson that said, hey, you should feel great about this. But,
And I'll tell you this, Lawrence, I don't think coming out of it you should feel great either.
I feel worse about him now.
1,000%.
Right, because it's 2 long touchdowns.
He had 4 targets.
He got 4 targets. He caught only 3 balls. 58 yards came after the catch. Again, it goes down to Watson ends up having a good fantasy day, but not from anything Watson did. If you saw the play right there, like it's a 5-yard out, then he just misses the tackle, and then Cooper's runs down the stretch, and it all counts the same. But I don't know.
They got Pittsburgh coming up, who's trying to make it to the playoffs.
Yep.
Keep Mike Tomlin from having a losing season. Them boys gonna be ready to go.
Yep.
There's no doubt. So anyway, I don't think you're out of the woods with the Watson Cooper thing. If there's one thing to hang your hat on other than just he did have a good fantasy day, his yardage has increased every single week that Watson's been under center, from 40 to 42 to 58 to 72 to 105 this past week. Again, only 4 targets in a game in which, time possession was tough because the Commanders did have a number of long drives, but still, I don't think you're out of the woods yet with Cooper and Watson.
Yep.
But nice games.
Lawrence, let's talk about Travis Etienne, who will be a top 10 running back next season, I think,
no doubt.
Indisputably. And he didn't get that much work in this game because it got out of hand so quickly, and they're thinking about the Titans next week. But you see him break this 62-yarder, and that propelled him to an excellent day overall.
Yeah, this run pretty much did it for him. You kind of came into this game knowing that this was a possibility for all of the Jaguar studs, and we saw it work out for Etienne, not so much Trevor Lawrence, despite it being a great matchup for everybody involved. If you had Etienne, you was like, whew. He got you your points, and he got out. Unfortunately, the whole Jaguars offense got out because they was, just bludgeoning the Texans. So there you go. But good game for Etienne.
Top 5 running back going into Monday Night Football. But, it's frustrating, though, and it's hard to complain about a guy that puts up 23 fantasy points, his third straight game with over 110 total yards. But still, he gets 108 yards. He has 3 catches for 32 yards, but only 9 rushes. Like, the fact of the matter is, JaMychal Hasty scored in this game.
Yes.
Snoop Connor scored in this game. Like, this could have been, as great a game as it was for Etienne, it could have been like a monster game. It could have been like hey, I'm facing Mike Evans and it don't matter because I got 3 touchdowns from Travis Etienne kind of game. Doesn't matter what Daniel Jones just did to me because I got Travis Etienne. So that's what's a shame, is that they had 3 rushing touchdowns in this game, and yet only one of them went to Etienne.
Yep. Matthew, when I think back on this fantasy football season, honestly, the first name that I'm going to think of is Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
Because he's such an anomaly. It's so inexplicable. I mean, he has 2 carries. He's a running back. He has 2 carries, but still delivers awesome fantasy value. Just keeps on piling up touchdowns against the Broncos in particular, but has another big game.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of weird because remember at the beginning of the year, we were saying the same thing about Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
We were saying, he's so touchdown dependent. He's not getting any passing game. In the case of CEH, it was like he wasn't getting, that much work, but he was scoring touchdowns as well. And same thing with McKinnon. I mean, so his now 5th straight game with a touchdown. He's got 7 touchdowns in the last 5 games. He's been nothing short of terrific. He is their passing down back on an offense that passes a ton. 5 catches and 50 yards in 3 of the past 4 games. I mean, Mahomes is throwing it over 40 times a game. But to your point, it's now back-to-back games with fewer than 8 touches. He is totally touchdown dependent. That said, if you're going to be a touchdown dependent running back, and many of them are, you're better off being on the Chiefs, who score a lot of touchdowns, as opposed to some of the other teams. I will say that the team that I'm playing Rich Rebar in, has McKinnon on it as well.
Yep. Lawrence.
So, yes. 2 of the heroes for me yesterday, Ekeler and McKinnon.
What's the quote, Lawrence, about if a tree falls in the woods but no one hears it, does it really make a sound? If the Arizona Cardinals play the Atlanta Falcons but no one watches it, does it actually even happen? Because I don't think a single person watched this game, but if they did, they would have seen something out of Trey McBride.
Trey McBride might have had the quietest tight end 2 we've ever seen. Come on, right? But it's against the Falcons, who are not good against tight ends. You see him. We kind of been waiting for a little bit of this from Trey McBride for a while, since they've been without Zach Ertz. Had a season-high 10 targets with y'all boy David Blau. He came in there in Atlanta, hitting them. They lost the game, though, so it's all good. But he has had 55 yards in 2 of his last 3 games, so a smidget of consistency. But, like I said, when you playing the Falcons and you're the Cardinals with no Kyler Murray, ain't nobody even checking for that.
Yeah, I mean, look, 10 targets in this game. Hollywood Brown gets 9. Greg Dortch, the human Dortch, gets 10 as well. I mean, Blau was inconsistent in this game. The other issue here is that it's just, no DeAndre Hopkins, who's obviously going to take targets away. We'll see if Colt McCoy is back for them. We'll see if Zach Ertz is on the wrong side of 30 and coming off an ACL, whether he is back next year with the Cardinals. But I think it's going to be hard for me to trust Trey McBride next week, for people that are playing. But I just think it's a name. This is somebody who is a talented rookie coming out of college this year, and just a name for the future, right?
Yep, absolutely. They're 14-point dogs in San Francisco next week, so that's going to be ugly. We're going to break. When we come back, Sunday Scaries. It's going to be some New York Jets.
Yeah. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.